Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tools in the Toolbox, the training brief, which features laws, legal cases, and tactical scenarios specifically for Indiana police officers. This is episode 64. I'm Joe Wells, director of the Midwest Law Enforcement Training Institute. Today, we'll review State Statute 9-1985, which reads, the engine and power mechanism of a motor vehicle must be equipped and adjusted so as to prevent the escape of excessive fumes or smoke. That's right, we're discussing the exhaust laws for vehicles. Makes you wonder, why are we talking about this week? Well, we've seen a resurgence in the act of rolling coal, as it's called. Basically, this is nothing new. However, recent interaction and promotion through social media sites such as Facebook and YouTube have really brought this to the forefront of the public eye right now. It's sort of an online culture war. The way this works out is vehicles are being modified with diesel engines. Vehicles with diesel engines are being modified, and the exhaust is being overridden to allow them to put out these thick plumes of black smoke from the exhaust. Which begs the question, why is this being done? Well, quite simply, it's a bit of a lifestyle thing and a cultural war. Right now, people who identify themselves as conservatives are annoyed with the liberals, the EPA, hybrids, foreign cars they call rice burners, as well as a slew of other things. Mostly the biggest problem with the sentiment towards the EPA being the Clean Air Initiative. There were several changes made to diesel trucks in recent years, which helped out with the exhaust emissions from these vehicles. However, it cost them some gas mileage. So you've got the people who drive these vehicles feeling like they're being crunched down by society and their freedoms are being taken away. And that sort of caused them to rebel and show their dismay by doing things like this with the simple kits that override the exhaust system and give them these thick plumes of smoke. Of course, as we see these violations, there are problems associated with them. First of all, public sentiment. Yes, if you roll by and you fill a guy's car with black smoke, they usually get upset about it. So there are several road rage incidents already attributed to the act of rolling coal. Second of all, the basic problem with authority figures. We've seen a lot of people doing this in truck clubs. The clubs actually put together score sheets as a sort of fun thing to do. They give points for rolling coal on a fancy car with the window down. If they roll coal on a person who's dressed neatly, if they get bonus points. If they roll coal on a hybrid or a foreign vehicle, they get bonus points as well. But the biggest shot of bonus points comes when they roll coal on a squad car. And the final thing we look at here with the issue with rolling coal is actual honest public safety problems. We're not talking about EPA and the excessive smoke in the air. We're talking about problems on the roadway. These thick plumes of smoke, as you can see by the final photo right there, are very thick. It's almost like a fog, just a big black fog that covers the roadway. It can cover the back of the vehicle and obscure the brake lights and tail lights. It can distract other drivers. It can obscure their view. So naturally, if someone rolls coal on the roadway in a pack of vehicles, they could be responsible for causing a collision or other major problems on the roadway, slowing traffic down especially, and causing a whole ghost backup on the roads. As always, with situations like this, we encourage strict enforcement. Let's review the statute one more time. It reads, the engine and power mechanism of a motor vehicle must be equipped and adjusted so as to prevent the escape of excessive fumes or smoke. This is a Class C infraction. Breaking down the statute, the first part you see, it says a motor vehicle must be equipped. So therefore, if you can determine that a vehicle or the owner of a vehicle has removed the equipment necessary to keep the smoke down, you've got a violation. If you can determine that a person is running a kill switch, which is that's a popular upgrade being used right now, if they're using a kill switch that overrides the system, you've got the violation. The second part, it must be adjusted so as to prevent the escape of excessive fumes or smoke. Excessive fumes or smoke, what's that? It might sound a little subjective. Well, our saving grace comes in a case that already went through the Court of Appeals in 2014, back in April. Veerkamp versus State, that's exactly what the defense attacked on this case, was the definition of excessive. Fortunately, The officer articulated how the smoke obscured the view of the back of the vehicle. Like I just mentioned, the tailgate's covered of a vehicle, the license plate is obscured, the brake lights are obscured. It's a public safety issue. The plate's not visible. Also, the excessive smoke can also obstruct other drivers. So if you articulate that, you're already following the statute as it's written. Also, you've got the support of Veerkamp versus State. This week's edition of Tools in the Toolbox. Hope you enjoyed your little training session over the review of 91985. As always, happy hunting. We hope you can go out and find some issues like this and now handle it properly with this review. This training material is based upon current laws in the state of Indiana. Officers are responsible for following their departmental policies and guidelines set by the prosecutors in their own jurisdiction.